Hi everyone, in today's video I'll be showing you how to draft the basic bodies. I'll be leaving the measurements needed in the description box. In this video I use cm for these basic bodies because it's a lot easier for me to approximate, but if you are used to inches then that is totally fine. To know the width of paper to use is your bust measurement divided by 2 plus at least 8 cm. Then to know the length of paper to use is your shoulder to your waist plus at least 6 to 8 cm or 6 to 10 cm depending on the amount of paper you have to draft the bodies. So the first thing I'm going to do is to create a border line that will serve as a guide for me to begin my measurement. So I'm just going to create a border line this way and this way. So my client's measurement is 113 cm, and now I'm going to divide it by 2, and I got 56.5. so I'll add at least 8 to 10 cm. So let's just add like 10 cm. So what I have is 66.5. so it means for me to know the amount of paper to use, the width of my paper should be at least 66.5. Therefore the length, her front body length, that's from her shoulder to her half length or her true waist or her high waist, her shoulder to her high waist is 52 cm. So at the end of the paper I'm just going to mark 2 cm just to get a straight line. Then I'm going to rule a line across it. And depending on the extra allowance you added, yours may be bigger. Say for instance you added 12 cm to your body length, then you should have more borderline to work with. So now we'll call this point 0. All our measurement will begin from this border mark that will measure as 2 cm. So 0 to 1 is our back body length. So if you have a set square, this is when you should use your set square to get your back body length. But if you don't, you can just measure again here and measure at the end to get a horizontal straight line. Point 0 to 0.2 is your bust measurement plus 6 cm divided by 2. Then 0.1 to 0.3 is the same thing, your bust measurement plus 6 cm divided by 2. Now mark it. Then you connect the lines of 0.2 to 0.3 if you have not done so. I adjusted the paper in a way that is comfortable for me to draft so that I do not hurt my waist. This is me just marking my 0 to 2 and my 1 to 3 for you guys to see. Now we're going to divide 0 to 2 into 2 to get the middle, and also divide 1 to 3 into 2 to get the middle. Then you will draw a straight line. After that, we'll label the right hand side as the center front and the left hand side as the center back. 0 to 4 is bust measurement divided by 4 plus 1 or 1.5. You repeat the same measurement for 0.2 to 0.5. Once you get it, you draw a line across from 0.5 to 0.4. This is going to give us our armhole line. 0.2 to 0.6 is our neck measurement divided by 5 minus 1 cm, and this is going to give us our neck width. Then 0.2 to 0.7 is our neck measurement divided by 5. At 0.7, you are going to measure 1.5 cm inwards of your pattern. Then you are going to connect from 0.7 to 0.6 with a curve ruler. To get 0.8, you divide your neck circumference by 5 minus 0.5. Then to get 0.9, you're going to subtract your back body length from your nape to waist. So my back body length here is 47 minus my nape to waist, which is 44. It will give me about 3 cm. So this will be 0.9. Now I'm going to connect from 0.8 to 0.9 with my curve ruler. Remember, for the front we went in by half cm, 1.5 cm, but for this back we're not going to go in. Okay, to get 0.2 to 10, we're going to measure from 0.2 our shoulder to our bust point, and our shoulder to our bust point here is 36 cm. So I'm going to measure 36 cm here. Then I'm going to square out, that's by drawing a straight line across. So 0.10 to 0.11 is our bust point to bust point, and our bust point to bust point here is 24. So we'll say 24 divided by 2, it will be 12 cm. Then we are going to square down. So this is 0.11. 0.2 to 0.12 is our front cross shoulder divided by 2. And the front cross shoulder I have here is 41. So if I say 41 divided by 2 is going to give me 20.5. So I'm going to mark 20.5 from 0.2. So this was 0.12. Once you get your 0.2 to 0.12, which is your front cross shoulder, you're going to square down by 4 cm. These are 4 cm. Then we're going to connect with a broken line to 0.6. 0.0 to 0.13 is our back cross shoulder divided by 2, and our back cross shoulder here is 43. 43 divided by 2 is 21.5. So this is 0.13. Now we're going to square down or come down by 3.5 cm from 0.13. Okay, then we're going to connect from here back to 0.8 using broken line. So 0.6 to 0.14 is our shoulder length divided by 2, and our shoulder length is 15. 15 divided by 2 is going to give us 7.5. So this is 0.14. Just make sure you're measuring on this slanted line. 14 to 0.15 is our shoulder length divided by 2. And our shoulder length when we divided it by 2 was 7.5. So we say 7.5 minus 1 cm will give us 6.5. So this is 6.5. And this will be 0.15. So now connect from 0.15. Connect to 0.11. And from 0.14, connect to 0.11. 0.8 to 0.16 is our shoulder length divided by 2, and our shoulder length is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So this is 0.16. 0.16 to 0.17 is 1.5 cm. to get 0.18, you have to divide 1.5 cm by 2, and that will give us 7.5. So this is 0.18. At 0.18, you have to square down by 8 cm. So this is 8 cm. Then you connect from 16 to where you squared down, and this will give us 0.19. Now to get 0.20, remember this is 0.19. To get 0.20, we'll have to fold this dart leg. So I'm just going to adjust the paper in a way that is comfortable for me to fold. So now we will just create a crease or a fold line at 0.14. Then we're going to place one finger at 0.11 and fold 0.14, remember this is 0.14, onto 0.15 like this. After that, we use a sticky tape to just hold it temporarily. And we'll also repeat a fold to for 0.16 to 17. So we just ignore the fact if at the tip of the dart is not laying flat, you can ignore that. So now we're going to get our 0.20. So 0.20, you're going to measure from 0.6, to your actual shoulder length. So our actual shoulder length, remember, is 15. So 15 is what we're going to mark here. So you're measuring from 0.6 to 0.15, and you're going to draw a line. So this is 0.20. Then we're going to use our tracing wheel to just highlight the line. Now that we have 0.20, we're going to do 0.21 by measuring from 0.8. So our shoulder length measurement again is 15 cm. So this is 15 cm. Now we're going to connect to 0.8. We're drawing this line along that slanted line. So ignore the fact that you have a space here. It does not matter. Now we're going to use our tracing wheel again to trace along the area we folded the dart. So we're just tracing along the fold for the dart. Okay, so this is 0.21. So to get 0.2 to 22, we're going to measure from 0.2 like this to 0.5. Then whatever you get, you're going to divide it by 2. So what I have here is 29.5. Now I'm going to say 29.5 divided by 2 is going to give me 14.75. Then I'll say 14.75 plus 1 cm is 15.75. So from 0.2, I am going to mark 15.75. So this is 0.22. At 0.22, we'll square out. Okay. Then we're going to measure our front cross armhole on this line. Our front cross armhole is 39. So we'll say 39 divided by 2. It will give us 19.5. So when you get your front cross armhole, make sure to add 0.5. So this is 19.5 plus 0.5. That will be 20 cm. So this is 20 cm. So this will be 0.23. So just as we did for 0.2 to 0.5 to get 0.22, we'll repeat the same thing. 0.0 to 0.4, we measure it. Then what I have here is 29.5. 29.5 divided by 2, 14.75. So we'll say 14.75 plus 1 cm, that's 15.75. So this is 15.75 here, and this will give me 0.24. So we're going to square out 0.24 like this. Now to get 0.25, we're going to say our back cross armhole divided by 2 plus 0.5. So our back cross armhole is 46. 46 divided by 2, 23 plus 0.5, that will be 23.5. So this is 23.5, and this is 0.25. So I want to bring something to your attention. Sometimes some people's back across back or back cross armhole may be bigger, some may be smaller. So you can do some manipulation, and the same thing with the front. Some people's own may be smaller, some people's own may be bigger, but once you connect the line and you see that it's not giving a good fit, you can always readjust it to what you think may be best. It could range from adding 0.5 to 1.5 cm, or it could range from reducing it by 0.5 to 1.5 cm. So this is 0.25, and this is our side seam for both our front and our back. 0.25. Now this area will be 0.26. So on that armhole line is where you have 0.26. Now we're going to connect these lines together using our curve rulers. So now I'm connecting the armhole. So you can see that my armhole line is going to look funny if I connect from point 0.25 to 0.21. You can see that it's looking funny already, and this is just trying to let me know that this person that has this pattern has like a bit of excess skin at the side or at the armhole area. So what I can do is that I'm going to just slightly reduce the back cross armhole. So I'm going to reduce it, let's say by 1 cm. Let's say by 1 cm, just so that I can have a good curve at the armhole. If you want, you can still leave it like that. It does not affect it in an obvious way. Okay, so now I'm going to erase this old one. Then now for the front, it ranges between 1.5 to 2.5. So you should mark, what I usually do is mark 1.5 cm, I mark 2 cm, and I mark 2.5 cm from this line. So 1.5, 2 cm, and 2.5. Then I connect. So I'll be connecting this to this first. Then I'll place my ruler in a way that it will meet at least one of these points that I have marked. Another trick you can use in solving this problem is to make sure that the difference between this area is not so much far apart with this. So the difference should not be more than at least 1.5 cm. That's between here to here and here to here. That could be another way to solve the issue. If you experience something like this, I would have gone ahead to just give you like a perfect body measurement where you do not experience this challenge. But supposing on your own while doing it you experience something like this, this is just how you should solve it. So most times the difference between here to here and the difference between here to here is not so much. They can be the same, they can just be slightly bigger or slightly smaller with maybe about 1.5 cm. So now we're going to get from point 2 to point 27. To get point 2 to 27, you have to subtract your back body length from your front body length. Our back body length here is 47 and our front body length is 52. So when we subtract that, we're going to get 5 cm, and you're going to measure that 5 cm beginning from point 3. So this is the 5 cm. And now we connect from this point 27 to point 1 with a slanted line, because remember our front body is usually longer than our back body, and this is because of the bust. For some people, the difference between their back body length and their front body length could be more depending on how full the bust is. So you have a bigger bust, it means your front body length measurement is going to be longer. Now I'm just going to take out this sticky tape just so that my pattern can lay flat. Point 27 to point 28 is the same measurement as point 10 to point 11. So it's bust point to bust point divided by 2, and the bust point to bust point here is 24 divided by 2 is 12, or you can just connect a straight line down. So this is point 28. I had to redraw a slanted line because I noticed that the first one I drew was not flat due to the sticky tape I had on the bodice. So I'll just be erasing the old one. So please, when you want to draw the slanted line, just make sure you have taken off your sticky tape. So now let's calculate our waist suppression. We'll measure from point 1 to point 27. So this is 59.5. So we'll call this our bust measurement. And this is 59.5. Then the waist measurement we got from the person's body when we measure the person is 103. So we'll say 103 divided by 2, that will be 51.5. So we'll call this our waist measurement. So our waist measurement now is 51.5. So now we'll subtract 59.5 from 51.5. 59.5 minus 51.5, that will give us 8 cm. Okay, so it means 8 cm is our total suppression. Now we have to share this 8 cm for our front dart. We also have to share it for our back dart, and also for our side seam. So we'll make sure that when we are sharing this 8 cm, the front dart should be bigger than the side dart. If you're good with math, this is where you should shine. But people like us have to do some manipulating and guesswork. So this is 8 cm. Let's say this is 3 cm, this is 2 cm, and this is 2 cm. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 3, that's 7. So supposing we do something like this, let's say 2.3, 2.3. So 3.4 plus 2.3 plus 2.3, that's 8. Okay, so let's say 3.4 minus 2.3, that's 1.1. It's okay, we want it to be at least 1 cm, at least 1 cm bigger than the back and the side. Now to get 0.29, we're going to divide our front dart by 2. Our front dart is 3.4, so 3.4 divided by 2 is 1.7. So we'll mark 1.7 to the right to get 0.29, and 1.7 to the left to get 0.30. Then we'll connect the line. Now 0.31 is our side seam suppression. So our side seam here is 2.3. So now we are going to say 2.3 divided by 2, that will be 1.15. So to get 0.32, we'll measure 1.15 to the left, that's 1.1 to the left. So this would be 0.32, and we'll measure 1.1 to the right, or 1.15 to the right, and this would be 0.33. Then we will also connect the line. Now to get 0.34, we have to measure from 0.1 to 0.33, and what I have here is 29.5. so we'll divide 29.5 by 2, so it will give us 14.75. Now we're going to subtract 0.5 from 14.75, and we're going to have 14.2, 14.25. so this is 14.25 here, and I'm also going to mark it on line 4, 14.25. then I'm going to connect a straight line. So this is 0.34. Now to get 0.35, we're going to divide our back dart by 2, and our back dart is 2.3. so 2.3 divided by 2, that will be 1.5. so this will be 0.35, 1.15, sorry. So this is 0.35, and we'll also mark 1.15 to get 0.36. Then we'll connect the line from line 4. So we have 34, 35, 36, and this will be 37. Right now, this is what the pattern looks like. Now we're going to fold our dart leg. So we'll fold 0.29 by creating a crease. Put one finger at 0.11, and we're going to place it on 0.30 like this, and use our ruler to blend in the line. So it's going to be like this. This is just to enable that to be balanced. After this, you can cut out your pattern, place it on a fabric, sew it and see what it looks like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.